Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, in pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So here we go with these here prophecies. They're taking place, man. You know, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna label this here video, but it'll be something along the lines of hey man, these are the days that we've been praying for. These are the days that we've been looking for, you know. As you can see the name of this here article, you know, it says CDC confirms 2 Tampa Bay area residents have coronavirus. All right. Now, actually in this here area, you know, dealing with the camp that I'm in, you know, the majority of the brothers live up here, like in the Tampa, like pretty much in, you know, closer to the Tampa Bay area, you know, and where me and another brother lives, you know, like in between where me and another brother live, which is a lot further south than that. This is where you have this other case set. So basically, hey, right amongst where the brothers are at down here from the Tampa Bay camp, you know, hey, you have this coronavirus popping off over here as well too, you know. But nevertheless, you know, looking at all these things as you know, you know, the brothers started sending out these here articles and things like that, and it started coming across the news, you know, which you know, I got the first one of this from one of the brothers sending this to you know, the group chat. But nevertheless, after that, you know, I had you know, just people that I knew from the world or whatever, whatnot, people that used to look at me a little crazy or whatever, whatnot, just out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, you know. They know that I'm into the scriptures or whatever, whatnot, you know. All of a sudden, now that you want to send me articles about the coronavirus and things like that, you know, it's like, oh, so now it's waking up. Now it's starting to hit close to home, you know. Now it's not a jokingly manner, you know, and dealing with you know. Also, I remember one of the brothers also sent out something from way back, you know, a while back, you know, dealing with this image of these Edomites, you know, pranking and joking, you know, they got, you know, their little gas mask on or whatever, whatnot, you know, just basically being, you know, trolls or whatever, whatnot, you know, you know, making fun of the coronavirus or whatever, whatnot, you know, and that's how these Americans live, man, you know, because they think that they're untouchable. This is that city that dwell carelessly, you know, they think they're untouchable. They hear about this thing over in China and they over there laughing and scoffing at them, not realizing that, hey, you could be touched by this as well, you know. Same with you know, the Arabs over there, the Ishmaelites getting bombed to hell and back, you know, from Esau. It's like, oh, well, fuck them towel heads or whatever, whatnot, you know. They be laughing and all that, you know, until what? It comes over and it hits close to home, you know. So now, you know, all these smiles and all these jokes and things like that around this here area over here in America, you know, it's starting, you know, those laughs, those smiles, those jokes, those pranks and all that, it's starting to look a little, you know, those smiles are starting to have a so-called plain face. They're not quite to the frowning area yet, but now they just have a plain look on their face right now, you know. And still, you still have, you know, like I got to work a little earlier today, and you know, that's what the people at the job was talking about. Oh shit, they got the coronavirus, and they still laughing and scoffing and joking, you know. And I joined on in with them, laughing and scoffing and joking. But hey, at the same time, you know, I got a different perspective. Like, y'all have no idea that this is the Lord bringing out this here judgment on you wicked ass people out here, man. All right, that's the end all be all with this. But these people over here laughing and joking, oh shit, now it's time to go stay home. Let's go have a party. Let's go drink or whatever, whatnot. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, drink up to your demise. Like the scriptures say, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. All right, because this is your last little hurrah. This is your last time being basically a virgin, man. All right, this is your basically, you know, as a metaphorically speaking, this is your last night of you know, of having your virginity. All right, because lo and behold, in the morning, your ass is, you know, you about to be ravished. You know, and this is what's going on. You know, this is the last little hoorah. You know, when the first cases of coronavirus came on the scene, again, you had a lot of these Edomites, these Americans laughing, scoffing, and joking. Then they started seeing it spreading to some of these other countries. You know, a lot of these people over here was like, oh, no, that's fake. That ain't happening, whatever, whatnot. Oh, you believe that? Did you see it or whatever, whatnot? You know, all of a sudden, they just start creeping off into other countries. All right. Then they were like, all right, well, maybe it is spreading. Then it comes over to America. Oh, well, it ain't going to come over here. They lying about that. Oh, now you got it in multiple states here now. All right. And not only that, when we get into this one area, this here article, all right, they'll tell you about the dude that's closest to me. All right. Which homeboy literally is like, I don't know, maybe like not even 30 minutes away from me. Really, both of these guys is like, one's like 30 minutes south from me. The other one's like maybe 45 minutes to an hour north from me. Right. So, hey, on either side of me, you know what I'm saying? We got this coronavirus popping off, man. And it would be nothing for them to, which they are pretty much enacting like a state of emergency. You also had that in California as well, too, in preparation for this. But it would be nothing for them to sit here and quarantine this here city, man. Or not really the city, the state. And it's real easy for them to quarantine Florida, man. You only got like, what, 3 major highways in Florida. You got like, let's say, Highway 75, you have 95, all right? And both of those highways you can take to get out in and out of Florida, 95 and 75, all right? Then you also have like 301 and 41, which are pretty much, you would think of these as like kind of like roads. They're highways, but they're not like the interstate, more or less to say. Now around in this here area, right? You have if you know anything about this here area out here, right? You look at a map and you look there's like a little sliver of land, right? That kind of resembles like how Florida kind of sticks off. I can't really explain it, you know what I'm saying? But if you look on a map and you look up like where on a regular big ass map or whatnot, where they'll have the dot where Tampa is, really a little south from that little island looking thing is like what they call St. Petersburg, Florida, all right, which is, right south from that. Now, from there, like I said, you go to the south of that, there is, it looks like the water, and then you got the rest of the main land. Now, in between there and there is this here big-ass bridge called the Sunshine Skyway. Now, if you look at the movie The Punisher, I believe it was I don't know how many Punisher movies they got, but let's just say they got multiple ones. The very first movie, The Punisher, I believe it's the very first scene or the very last scene, you see him standing on this really, really tall bridge, and they'll tell you that bridge is in Tampa, Florida, which is not in Tampa, Florida. It's not even touching Tampa, but that bridge connects like Manatee County, all right, to like Pinellas County, or what you would call like St. Petersburg, all right? So that's one main way you can get back and forth. Now, you can also take Highway 75. That would be Highway 275, right? You could also take 75. Going up to 75 and everything like that, once you get into Tampa, going through there, you have these long-ass bridges. You got a couple long-ass bridges. You got like a 7-mile bridge, a 14-mile bridge, and like a 21-mile bridge. But nevertheless, when you go up there to like the Howard Franklin and stuff like that, the Gandhi Bridge and all that, these are really long bridges, right? And you'd be driving out in the water, like the ocean, for a long time. But nevertheless, it take nothing for them to just close these bridges down, and really it's going to stop all movement, all right? So, you be pretty much, stuck into your little area. And a lot of the cities around here, there's a lot of bridges because there's a lot of water around here. So it would be nothing for you to sit there and cut off, your how do I say, your roadways or whatnot. Let's say, for instance, if one of the other brothers in the camp, like I said, he lives further south from me, all right? So now, in order for him to get to camp, he has to pass by my house, all right? Now, one of these patients is actually in a hospital between my house and his house in Sarasota. You see what I'm saying? So they can just easily cut that off. And then where the other brothers are in Tampa, all right, that's where the other patient is between me and the other brother that's south from me, and then those brothers. You see what I'm saying? So there'd be nothing for them to cut all this off. But again, and we're rejoicing right now. You know why? Because these are the days that we prayed for, man. These are the days that we look forward to. These are the days that we hope for. All right. Some people be like, "Oh, y'all sound wicked. This is that." Well, you got to understand and look at this in the perspective. Why is all this coming? What is the origins of this whole disease? And some people would say the so-called white man originated this disease, which is a big possibility that the so-called white man did create this, because America got the patent, and it came from a lab in Canada. All right. So, and then they took it over to China. You know what I'm saying? And Donald Trump talking about how the Chinese government basically is about to surpass America and basically a global leader of economics. All right. But if it wasn't for, he said, I forgot exactly how he worded it, but basically, reading between the lines, basically he was like, yeah, basically we had to do what we had to do to stop them from knocking us out of the number one spot when it comes to economics. So we had to do something. So this is really hurting their economy, because why? A lot of countries are stopping imports coming from China and things like that, and so on and so forth, all right, because of the fear of this disease, which is crippling their economy, because China is pretty much an export nation. Like America, the opposite of that would be like America, which is an import nation, whereas the majority of the things that we have here, we have to buy from other nations, all right? They have to bring them in from other nations. America don't produce a lot of these products, right? Reverse of that would be China. They export a lot of their goods. This is how they wind up making up their money for their economy, is by selling all these here goods. They have to wind up keep selling to make their money up. You know what I'm saying? If sales go down, they ain't gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you have a lot of these countries that stop and trade or whatnot from China, which is really hindering the global economics. All right, not only in China but also globally. All right. But nevertheless, hey man, like I said, these are the days that we look forward to. These are the days that we pray for. And again, people will say, why? Because we know that like I said, the origins of this, the originator of this here disease is ultimately the Most High. All right, no matter how. Now, the Most High didn't come down here and put on a white lab coat and go inside the laboratories and create this here disease himself like that. No, he used a tool, which, like I said, 9 times out of 10, it was Esau who, carnally, we would say he created this. You see what I'm saying? Just like in the scriptures, you can read about how the Lord created the smith that bloweth the coals. Well, that really breaks it down for you right there. He created the smith that bloweth the coals, that bring forth the weapons of his indignation. All right, so it's the Lord's weapons of his indignation, talking about the thermonuclear missiles that the Lord created. But what? Like the scriptures say, the Lord bringeth forth the smith that created, that bloweth the coals, that bringeth forth his weapons of his indignation. So the Lord created the scientists and put it inside his minds to create thermonuclear missiles. Just the same way he can create these damn scientists and put it in their minds to create these damn deadly viruses and have them spill out. All right. So if the Lord is the one that's bringing all these things, and we proclaim to be the men of the Lord, why would we, be upset or be scared about what the Lord is bringing as far as judgment? When, you know what I'm saying? You can read that in Ezekiel 9:4 and go to verse 5 from there and read on down, but you'll see the difference there. All right. Set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. That word mark is going into an exemption of judgment. But furthermore, those people, it says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry. All right. So the men that's out here sighing and crying for all the abominations will be what? The men of the Lord. That's tired of this here wickedness. That's tired of living in this here filth, man. Praying for the Lord to return. And when the Lord return, we understand the whole scroll. We know that the Lord's not coming to return to bring flowers and roses. Yahushua's not going to come and return and just snap his fingers and everything going to just get righteous. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, that's not going to happen like that, man. All these wicked ass pedophiles and whatever the fuck these people is doing, man. It's not like the Lord going to just show up. He's going to snap his fingers, and all of a sudden in the midst of, some pedophile, being a pedophile against a child, he's going to just, oh shit, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's doing whatever the fuck they doing. Man, it's not going to happen like that. All right. The scripture said the same going to have to learn after death by pain, But nevertheless, we rejoice because why? We know that salvation is getting closer and closer. All right. We know that the Lord is about to make his return. All right. Because as we read through these scriptures, I'm going to grab some of these same scriptures, but we've been reading these same scriptures over and over and over again. We don't just read these scriptures, man. We believe in these scriptures. That's why we keep reading them over and over again. That's why we be so fervent about these scriptures that we be reading, man. This is why sometimes people say, oh, y'all be getting upset and be cussing these people out, because it's like, yo, man, we really believe and understand what we're reading in these scriptures. And to us, you know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, blessed are your eyes will see the things that you see. It's clear as day. And it's like, y'all don't see this shit. Y'all don't see these motherfuckers out here dying. You don't realize that the Lord is murking you niggas out here, but yet, hey, they blinded. You know what I'm saying? If our gospel be hid, it's hid to those that are lost, man. All right. So, going in and dabbling on why we rejoicing at this, because, and especially because, that is hitting this close to home, the average person out there in this here world be like, oh shit, the shit's all close to us. Let's run. Let's go hide. Let's leave. Nah, fuck running and hiding. No, bitch. I want to stay right the fuck here in the belly of the beast, in the most danger, in the most trouble. You know why? Because I'm a screaming beacon of light. It's like, yo, Lord, come and save me, man. I'm crying out unto the Lord for salvation, man. And that's what the Lord is wanting, man. Think back into when we left Egypt, man. You see what the Lord did to us in Egypt when we was leaving Egypt? He led us out of Egypt, right? You can read about that, how the Lord led us out of Egypt. Where did the Lord lead us from? All right. First of all, the Lord was the one that hardened the heart of Pharaoh, because, really when you read about it, Pharaoh was going to let us go. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord hardened his heart. The Lord was the one that pissed the Pharaoh off, right? The Lord was the one that turned him up. The Lord was also the one who led us out of the land of Egypt. And, the Lord, he know directions. The Lord know where the hell he was going. You know what I'm saying? And if you understand the journey, the Lord took us the long route, a 3-day journey. He took us the longest fucking route, in the wilderness, and it was for a purpose, all right? Because you had non-believers, and it was set for them to die off into the wilderness, all right? But the point I'm trying to get at is the Lord knows directions. He could have brought us into the land of Israel in 3 days, but what? He took us the long way and took us, how do I say, not to say an impossible way, man. Because why? He ultimately led us where? Between a rock and a hard spot, how they would say in this here world. But he led us to what? The Red Sea, all right, in front of us. And the Pharaoh and his army pissed the fuck off behind us, all right? And a carnal mind, all right, they were like, oh, shit, man, we doomed. Oh, shit, what are we going to do? All right, but the Lord did that to show his power and his glory, all right, first and foremost, all right? And then ultimately, the Lord will put us in positions like this, all right? You'll see this on a smaller scale into your own life sometimes if you got that spiritual eye to see and, certain things like that. Sometimes the Lord will put you in a fucked up position, all right, for him. For instance, You know, because my grandma used to tell me this all the time, like, you shouldn't always be looking at certain situations that happen to you in your life as something bad, you know. Let's say, for instance, your car breaks down, right? Oh shit, man, my car broke down or whatever, whatnot, man. This is that happened or whatever, whatnot, man. I needed this car to depend on this car, whatever, whatnot. You know, the Lord may have had your car break down in order to present and bring you a new car, or the Lord may have gotten you fired from one job just so He can give you a better job. Now you hate this one job that you want, you despise going to it. Oh, I hate this job. I don't want to go here no more, whatever, whatnot. Then you go to work. Then somebody lie on you at work because you work with a bunch of a-holes or whatever. So now they lying on you at work and putting something on you at work. Now, your boss bring you into the office, say, so-and-so said that you stole this or whatever, whatnot. We're going to have to let you go. Your rent due tomorrow, whatever, whatnot. And you're just like, man, what the hell is going on? This is all crazy. But the Lord, ultimately, you got to look at it, to see what the Lord is doing for you, man. The Lord could have, got you fired from that job or whatever, whatnot, but he has a way better job lined up for you, but you would have never found that job if you would have still been at this one job that you was hating, and even though that, your rent is due the very next day, guess what? You was going to go and find a new job, and they was going to give you a signing bonus. You was going to get that cash money that day. So not only did you get your rent paid, you have an over and abundance of that. You got a better paying job, a better job, and everything is all good. But what? The Lord had to take away that first job first in order to bring you the second job. So the same way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and have you cry out and pray unto the Lord, man. All right. He put you in that position just so you will cry out unto Him and ask Him for that new job so He can give you the new job. Right. So the same way, when we was off into the Red Sea and the Pharaoh and his army. Right. We had to have faith and look unto the Lord to deliver us in that scenario. All right. So the same thing is happening here, man. All right. Like the scriptures say, how's it worded? It's Matthew 24. And like verse 21 and 22, where it says, roughly paraphrasing, if those days wouldn't be shortened, no flesh would be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. All right, so the Lord is doing this here work for us into this day, man. This is why these prophecies are happening back to back to back to back. This is the end all be all, man. All right, and we see that the Lord is stirring up all these things because it's the time of His return, man. All right, but ultimately, we have to stay, locked and loaded in this here truth, man, and this here faith, man. Continue to have faith, continue to pray, all right, and believe on these here scriptures, man, all right. And you can't, how do I say? You can't let these things that's going on around you, take hold of you, all right, and bring fear upon you, all right. You have to understand why all these things are happening, all right. These are all the signs of the Lord coming, all right, and it's really judgment day going forth, man. The Lord is starting to judge all these people out here on the planet Earth, man. All right, Babylon is going to be destroyed in 1 day and 1 hour. All right, but what? The rest of the world, hey, they getting their shit right now, man. All right, and you're going to have some little skirmishes here in America as well, too. You got the economy collapsing, you got the love of many waxing cold here, and so on and so forth. You got all these things going on here in America. Ultimately, they're going to be thermonuclear bombed off the face of the earth in 1 day and 1 hour. But nevertheless, the Lord is sending out judgment on the face of the earth. All right, so and if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, all right, and doing what the Lord required of you, what you were angry and upset for, all right? The Lord is bringing down this judgment on those, Isaiah 65 and 12, man. All right, I'm going to number you to the sword because when I call you didn't answer, all right? That's dealing with 2/3 of our people, all right? But ultimately, the rest of these nations and Esau, they got to get their judgment, man. Esau going to ultimately get his judgment, but, dealing with these other nations, man, they getting their judgment as well too, man. All right, so again, this is the time that we're looking forward to hastening and that we prayed about, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. We rejoicing at these things, man. We're not scared. We're not fretting. Those that was in the darkness that continue to be in that darkness, now, they like Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 talk about dealing with Esau. All right, when they see the salvation of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is gonna be the biggest we done fucked up moment, Oh damn, how does these niggas? Wait a minute, y'all the children of the Most High? What the fuck were we been doing the whole time? So on and so forth, But now, you have that on a different scale, especially amongst our people or whatever, whatnot. They've been laughing and scoffing and hearing us talk about these things for so long. Look at these niggas thinking that the Lord gonna bring judgment and kill off all these people. But y'all tripping, man. Y'all better go get y'all a woman. Y'all better go get y'all, let's go do this, let's go do that or whatever, whatnot. But lo and behold, the Lord is starting to bring out this here judgment. Now it's starting to come back up into the minds of these people, man. All right, and this is just the beginning. We ain't really seen the whole end all be all yet. I can think back into the book of Daniel, talking about some gonna awaken to everlasting shame. Now you start to see it have that shame cover you, because while you had the men of the Lord been telling you this for so long and you've been laughing and scoffing, but now, all right, everybody smiles and start turning into a plain face now, and we still on the highways and the byways going strong, smiling and rejoicing and letting you people know that this is your downfall. And now these people starting to scratch their head like, wait a minute, man. hold up, but this is also ultimately going to bring on that persecution, because once all these things start hitting them, and squeezing at them and hitting them from all sides, they're going to start looking back at everything that we've been telling them, and they're going to put this on the men of the Lord. Like, you know what? Because of y'all niggas, all these things have come upon us. Like, no, it ain't because of us. You can't blame the weatherman for your house getting destroyed in a goddamn hurricane. All right? It ain't his fault that he told you it was a Category 5 hurricane coming and it's going to kill everything in his sight. No, he didn't do that to you. He warned you about that it was coming, it's going to be dangerous, and going to kill a lot of people. You decided to not take heed to that, and what? In that sense, people would say Mother Nature took its course. All right? And same thing here, man. Which Mother Nature is controlled by what? The Heavenly Father. All right? Same thing here when we tell you that the Lord is about to come and bring this here destruction. You don't want to hearken to it. Okay, well, when the Lord come and bring that destruction on you, you can't be mad at the men of the Lord who tried to warn you about that, man. All right? So let's get into this here article where it says CDC confirms 2 Tampa Bay area residents have coronavirus. DOH monitoring 184 people. Tallahassee. The CDC confirmed Monday afternoon that 2 people in the Tampa Bay area have the novel coronavirus, or COVID-19. Key facts to know: Manatee County man in his 60s tests positive. And that's, like the county that I'm in, or close enough to where I'm at. All right. Hillsborough County, woman in her 20s tests positive. The majority of the brothers in the camp, that's where they live at, up there. 23 people being tested, 184 people being monitored, 795 people have been monitored since authorities began tracking possible, we'll just call it coronavirus. All right. So, hey, when you're looking at these numbers, man, they're only telling you 2 of them have tested positive. All right. But nevertheless, 23 people are being tested, 184 people being monitored. All right. So, there's a possibility. And when you go really study this here, disease or whatever you want to call it, virus, all right, they'll tell you in the media or whatever, whatnot, that it has a 14-day incubation period, but really it's a lot longer than that. Some reports saying 25 days, but really they don't really even know what the incubation period is, which goes into how long it's going to take for it to develop in your body from the day that you so-called contracted it. All right, let me give you an example, right? The so-called incubation period. All right, I'll give it to you in a sexual metaphor, right? A man winds up how they say in nowadays term, a man wound up shooting up this chick's club, right? The night he wound up shooting up her club, right, is the so-called, the day that she wound up conceiving, right? But then there's an incubation period, right? Before she even starts showing signs of being pregnant or anything like that, there's an incubation period. She may not even know, what I'm saying, what's going on, what I'm saying? Matter of fact, for instance, that actually happened to me, when I was born, before I was born. But nevertheless, my mom didn't know that she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? When she was pregnant with me, you know what I'm saying? She was out at the clubs and everything like that. And they was leaving the club and she wound up getting sick and throwing up in the car. And they just thought that because what she had ate earlier that day and she was drinking, come to find out, lo and behold, she was pregnant the whole time, right? So that's like the incubation period. You didn't even have no signs. You ain't start having morning sicknesses. You ain't so-called missed your period yet. You ain't starting to grow yet or nothing like that. You ain't got no pregnancy test. So you still don't think that you're pregnant, right? So you're not really showing those signs. That's the incubation period, right? So the same thing with this here virus, let's just say hypothetically somebody sneezed on you, and at that moment you wind up getting that virus inside of your body. All right. Now they telling you it could be up to 14 days, but really in some cases they say up to 25 days. But again, like I said, they don't really know the incubation period. But let's just say 25 days, right? 14 to 25 days, right? You could be walking around with no signs of it. Somebody could have sneezed on you, and that virus is now inside your body, incubating and spreading throughout the cells of your body or whatever, whatnot. And you walking around so-called, to the untrained eye or whatever, whatnot, as a healthy individual, still going to work full of strength and everything like that or whatever, whatnot, and then the whole time you're highly contagious. You can be going around your kids or whatever, whatnot. Now, day one, somebody sneezed on you, you wind up getting this virus inside of your body, and you over here playing with your kid. Now, you didn't spread it to your kid, but you still ain't showing no signs. Now, your kid take it to school, spread it to all their classmates. And I've been saying this in all these videos, man, and so on and so forth, man. All right, so you talk about these 2 people over here that tested positive. Well, before they even came in and got tested, how many people were they in contact with, man? All right. How did these people get to the hospital? You know what I'm saying? And when they first came in, before they got the test ran to get positive, did they take the the normal precautions to understand what was going on? So, hey, man, I was just thinking about this, that the fact of the matter of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe they at Sarasota Hospital, like, yo, man, I'm pretty sure that all them motherfuckers in there probably got the shit. What's crazy is, I believe that my damn neighbor she worked at one of these hospitals, and I believe, because we only got like 3 hospitals, like I think about 3 or 4 hospitals in this little area around here, right? But and what's crazy is Sarasota is like one of the richest places in all of Florida, man. It's like number 3. It's probably like number 3 places in all of Florida to for these rich Edomites to retire. You got like West Palm Beach, Delray, and then you come back over here. Like when you look at the world's number 1 beaches or the U.S. number 1 beaches, you know what I'm saying? They always tell you like Siesta Key is like number 1. It's ties between that and South Beach, but ultimately Siesta Key because they got the more clearer water, the white sand or whatever, whatnot. That's out there where that's at. But nevertheless, hey man, this shit is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start seeing these people ill left and right. Like I said, ain't no telling when these people caught this shit and who they didn't spread it to. You know what I'm saying? So it says, key facts to know: Manatee County man in his 60s test positive. Hillsborough County woman in her 20s test positive. Hey, now going to this here man, you know how men normally are. They, for the most part, a man damn near have to be dying and throwing up blood, for 4 or 5 days before, and having everybody and his mama tell him, look, bro, you need to go get that shit checked out before he actually go get that shit checked out. So 9 times out of 10, man, he didn't already spread this shit to quite a few people, man. All right. And like I said, when they come into the hospital, whatever, whatnot, I mean, you got to think about all the things you got to disinfect. And come on, man. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, it says Hillsborough County woman in her 20s test positive. 23 people being tested. All right. Now, if they being tested, we're not even going to get into all that. It's all self-explanatory. 184 people being monitored. Really, in reality, these people could have it. They're going to wait until they actually know that they have it. They're like, all right, this nigga got it. You know what I'm saying? But you got 184 people rolling around. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yo, these niggas might have it. We ain't going to know until they actually start showing signs. So they could already be in a 25-day incubation period, already spreading this amongst the rest of the population. 795 people have been monitored since authority began tracking the coronavirus, and it's only been, 2 months? We're in the 3rd month of it now, 2 Tampa Bay area residents test positive. All right, it says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to close late Sunday that 2 people in the Tampa Bay area were the first to test presumptive positive for the novel coronavirus, or COVID-19. DeSantis directed his top health officials to declare a public health emergency. During the press conference on Monday, the Florida Department of Health said that 1 patient is an adult male in his 60s in Manatee County, all right, which ain't no telling if you actually live in Manatee County, all right, or if you live in Sarasota County, because these are actually 2 different counties. Like the hospital that he's at is in Sarasota County, all right, but they're saying here Manatee County, which they next door neighbors, really. Ain't shit, you get from one county to the other county in like 20 minutes, right? So it says says 1 patient is an adult male in his 60s in Manatee County, according to the state Surgeon General, Dr. Scott Reviques. I will just call him Dr. Scott. The patient does not have a travel history to countries identified for the restricted travel of this by the CDC. He added that the patient is being treated at the doctor's hospital in Sarasota. Okay, doctor's hospital. Thought it might have been Sarasota Memorial, but nevertheless, hey man, this one case here. All right, it lets you know all that you need to know. All right, he didn't travel to none of these different places, man. All right, so like, oh, well, I didn't travel over to China. I don't know nobody who traveled over. That don't fucking matter if you traveled over to China, man. All it really takes is one person to travel from over in China, all right, to get on the airplane, to come back over here. All right, in fact, everybody on the airplane now, let's just say one person on that airplane come back and happen to catch a city bus where you at, or maybe even be the Uber driver or some shit like that, or happen to go to the same restaurant that you went to, or not even that. Let's say one of these motherfuckers came from China, all right, who got the shit. It don't even have to be from China, from any of these other places, Italy, wherever it's at, right? And they get this here money in they hand or whatever, whatnot. They sneeze on their hand, they got it, and they don't even know they got it. They got the money in their hand, they exchange money, they didn't bought some Burger King, and now somebody else went to Burger King and got some change back. Now that money, so on and so forth. You just know how dirty money is. You know what I'm saying? Money have all kind of residue on it. Technically, you know what I'm saying? You could not ever have touched or been around cocaine a day in your life and still have cocaine residue on you, because why? Somebody could be using a dollar bill to have cocaine on it, man. You see what I'm saying? That's just how that shit travels, man. You see what I'm saying? Or we ain't gonna get into how money spread and all those diseases, but And nevertheless, again, another thing, you don't even got to travel about this. We don't know, people don't know if, again, people are being pushed out here with these things to purposely spread this in water, where it's actually coming from. They don't really know the source of these things, man. This is a scary thought. It's like, well, you can't really just say, well, we safe because we didn't go over there. Ain't nobody from over there traveled over here. Or, you know, some people like, oh, stop going to these Chinese food restaurants, or stop getting packages from this and that. But like, that might not even help your ass. I mean, that's a good warning, all right? But at the end all be all, like, yo, when you have cases popping up from people that ain't even traveled, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers that don't go nowhere, they just sit at home as a couch potato or whatever, whatnot, but and they still caught it. How much more do the rest of these people out here, man? All right? And this one here says, the second patient is a 20-year-old woman in Hillsborough County who recently traveled to Italy. She is isolated at home and will remain isolated until cleared by the public health officials. Now, they'll go in and tell you about, you know, washing your hands and so on and so forth and disinfect everything. And I'm like, bro, you can't do a goddamn thing. Let's just say you disinfect your whole house. You be wiping it down and everything like that. What you going to do with the trash, man? You know what I'm saying? You're going to throw it away into the trash can. What about the trash people that's going to come and pick up the trash? All right? And then, you know, the trash man that picked up the trash, now it's on the side of your trash can or whatever, whatnot. He didn't touch it. Now he got it. And he go from house to house to house, putting it on all the damn trash cans. Now you bring your trash can in or whatever, whatnot. Now the whole neighborhood got the damn coronavirus, man. Because one person in the neighborhood was sick. And they throwing all their disinfectant stuff into the trash can. Now the trash man got to come on trash day to pick up your shit. And he just spread it through the whole fucking neighborhood. And again, all these people is walking time bombs. They just walking it out and spreading it even further, man. You see what I'm saying, man? This is they keep trying not to call this a pandemic. All right, they want to keep, I don't even know if they want to call it an epidemic, like it's just in one spot, but literally it's on damn near, I think they say it's on every continent except for like what, Antarctica. All right, which really ain't nobody, you know, it's only a small group of people down there. And these people ain't like natives or nothing like that. It's just military personnel from certain militaries around the earth for research purposes. So really ain't got nobody actually living out there as a population. All right, but nevertheless, you know, just wanted to read through that. It's a lot. Just wanted to read through that there article, all right, and just point out certain things with that, man. Because hey, man, this again, these are the days that we pray for. We was looking forward to, man. All right, now I'm gonna just grab a couple scriptures that we've always hit around, all right, and going forth to show forth. These are the things that we look forward to. This ain't nothing new to us, all right. If anything, we're rejoicing more because of the things that we prophesied about or said before. That's what the word prophecy goes into, to say before, all right. And the prophet is the one that's going to say it, all right. A prophet prophesies, all right? And a prophecy is to say before. So the prophets are going to say these prophecies before, right? Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets, all right, the people who's going to say it beforehand, that have been before me and before thee of old, both of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence, all right? So, you know, the spirit of the prophets are subjected to the prophets. We keep coming back in the same stead. We keep coming back, you know what I'm saying? Lord, when I'm a part of that number, we keep coming back in the same lot, doing the same thing over and over and over again. All right. And what have we been telling you on the highways and the byways and in these videos for the longest time? You know, some of us longer than others, you know, Apostles been out there for 30 years and so on and so forth, you know, but nevertheless, we've been telling you about this pestilence, this destruction, wars and rumors of wars, basically the judgment of the Lord, judgment day coming, man. All right, the end all be all for this here world, man. All right, for this here how do I say this age or this time frame, this rulership, man. This is the end all be all for Esau and his rulership, man. These are the days that we've been looking forward to. You know, we proclaiming to be the men of the Lord and standing up in that their lot. So what are we doing? Let me read it again. Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old. All right, so we call ourselves the men of the Lord, the prophets. All right. So the ones that was before us, all right, they says they prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. You know, and this is what a lot of people call us on the highways and the byways, or in our personal life. Oh, y'all always talking negativity or whatever, whatnot. Donald Trump called us the prophets of doom. That's talking about what do you say, the apocalypse or whatever, whatnot. Don't listen, don't hearken unto them. All right, but what we've been telling you about these things. So I mean, just judge a tree by its fruits. Donald Trump saying not to listen to us because obviously we lying or whatever, whatnot. All right, or we just on some bullshit. But we telling you, nah, the Lord ain't lying. He ain't bullshit. He finna bring this shit. He finna kill your ass with it, right? So, judge a tree by its fruits. I told you that tree over there was an apple tree. But you clearly see oranges is on there. So, what kind of tree is that really? If I told you it's an apple tree, but you know that those are oranges growing over there. You done peeled it, ate it, and everything. You know it's an orange tree. What kind of tree is it really? It's really an orange tree. No matter what the fuck I say, you see the fruit that it's bearing, right? So, Look at the fruits that's being born off of these two trees. Donald Trump say don't listen to the prophets of doom talking about the apocalypse or whatever, whatnot, you know. But we telling you, listen to us, listen to the words of the Most High, man, because His words are true, man. His words ain't gonna go out void, man. They're not gonna come out. He's not speaking in vain, man. All right. And what are the fruits that's being born? All right. The fruits that these things are bearing is what these prophecies are coming to pass, man. You see, well, let me read it again. Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. And what do you see happening around the whole earth? All right. Wars and rumors of wars. It started out this year with the assassination of Qasem Soleimani. All right. General Soleimani out in Iran. All right, you had China was shooting lasers at American planes. You had America who was it? Iran. All right, wound up attacking the damn base in what is it, Iraq. All right, you had all these different things going on, man. So you had wars and rumors of wars. We've been telling you about that. All right, about these pestilence, or these diseases, the coronavirus. All right, and then just these evils that's going out around the whole earth, man. You have all kind of different evils and atrocities going out throughout the whole earth, man. The love of many is definitely waxing cold, man. All right, and we've been telling you about these things, but guess what? Now they all coming to pass, man. All right, so how do you think we should feel about these things? If we truly believed in these things, and we've been telling you before they actually been happening, man. Like if I told you, you know what I'm saying? You know that feeling when you like, I told you that shit was gonna happen. Like, you watching maybe a fight, basketball game or something like that, and you kind of in an underdog position or whatever, whatnot, because maybe your team is losing right now. You're like, nah, man, wait till so-and-so get into the game, man. He gonna get in there. He gonna dominate, bro. Or so-and-so get into the ring, man. Bro, you say that now. Wait till this nigga get in the ring. He finna whoop some ass, bro. All right, put your money where your mouth is. Then you know how Jake be in some kind of sporting event. I told you he was gonna whoop up his ass. Give him my goddamn money. I told you. That's basically, you know what I'm saying, how we feeling right now, man. Call halal Yahabashim Yahushua. Fuck these niggas, man. We told you niggas to repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. Talking about 2/3 of our people, man. Or not really 2/3, because they ain't gonna get it. Well, we told them too, but they ain't gonna get it. All right, but hey, we rejoicing when the Lord is starting to bring down this here judgment on you niggas, man. We definitely rejoicing when we seeing these heathen catching hell, man. All right, because why? They put their hands on us too, man. They not gonna go escape. You know, we be hitting on Esau all day long. We be banging on Esau. We don't bang on Esau enough, but because come on, bro. Not until we put our hands on your ass. Not until the Lord put His Spirit on us. Then after them 1,000 years and we burn your ass up, then we can be like, all right, this nigga done had enough. We done put him out of his miseries. But until then, you know what I'm saying. But nevertheless, we you hear us talk about him all the time. But how much more these fucking heathen out there, man? These Moabites, you know what I'm saying? Which, man, the Most High don't care about them niggas neither, man. He said Moab gonna be my wash pot, man. All right, but nevertheless, this is what we've been talking about from Jump Street. Let me go to the book of Luke. This is Luke 21:7. Now we normally read this in the book of Matthew 24. You could also read it in the book of Mark, but we normally bring this out as as Matthew 24. Most of the time when people ask about, that's an easy scripture for people to recognize. Matthew 24, whatever, whatnot, the end of the world, the signs of the end. But I'm gonna read this here, the same thing here in Luke 21, because there's a couple different words here. All right. So Luke 21:7, and they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? All right, like I said in Matthew 24, it says, what shall be the sign of thy coming in the end? Talking about the end of the world. All right, verse 8. I'll just read it on down. It says, and he said, take heed that you be not be deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, all right, again, you can read this Matthew 24, wars and rumors of wars, all right, which we've been reading about that in the news, dealing with Iran and situations like that, man. All right, you got skirmishes now popping off between Turkey and Syria, all right, over who's moderate rebels and who's terrorists or whatever, whatnot, and really, because Turkey's still a NATO member, but Turkey is kind of like that, is being ostracized by NATO, because America and them is like, we're not really going to come to y'all aid, man. Because really, y'all bought that S-400 that we told you not to buy. And now, we're not really going to come to your aid like that. So if some shit pop off, bro, that's kind of going to be on you, man. And Russia, which really Turkey is kind of in a fucked up spot, because they had kind of going at odds in with Russia over the Syria deal too, because, they saying that, Turkey saying that Russia knew about the attack that was coming. You know what I'm saying? And the Syrian troops just so happened to be over there, whatever, whatnot. We was trying to bomb these folks or whatever, whatnot. The Syrian troops just so happened to be over there. And, maybe some of them died, maybe some of them didn't die. I mean, that ain't our fault. We was trying to bomb them, But nevertheless, you start to see these different commotions being stirred up between these different nations and so on and so forth, So it says, but you should hear of wars and commotions, all right? Also going into these different commotions of these different nations, like right now, well, a lot of nations, before all this happened, you had economic woes in these different nations or whatever, whatnot. But now you had this coronavirus going on. Now you're starting to see stock market here in America start to fall. Global economic collapses happening. Trade and things like that going down. I believe it's out in Italy, all right, where a lot of shit is shut down over there, man. So things ain't really moving out there, man. There's a lot of different places where schools and jobs and things like that are being shut down, So you got a lot of this back and forth and people trying to leave, like also in Second Esdras, talk about they desire to, go into another city but can't, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be basically quarantined off, man. All right, these are the times, Lord willing, I'll be able to grab that, but these are the times that we look forward to. These are the times we've been reading. These are the prophecies that we're looking forward to coming, because why? We know that the Lord is right around the corner after these things, all right? So it says, but you shall have wars and commotions. Be not terrified. Again, we ain't supposed to be scared of these things, all right? For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, just like we was talking about at the beginning of the year as well, too. Puerto Rico being rocked by over 1,000 earthquakes, all right? And famines, all right? Because you have... it started out there in Africa and stuff like that, but then you also had it going over, I believe, in India, Afghanistan, I want to say China, and there was another country, I can't think of where it's at. We had this locust plague where you had locusts the size of whole states flying around, consuming all the damn vegetation, man. And shit, if them locusts go over to China, we don't know if they'll be able to catch the coronavirus and transmit that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, imagine, shit, the state of Florida, the state of Texas flying towards your ass, all these damn locusts that's contaminated or contagious with this here virus, man, and all them landing on vegetation. Like, if they don't eat your vegetation all up, all right, they're gonna wind up leaving the coronavirus on it anyway. Verse 11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence, right? This word pestilence going to what? Diseases and things like that, all right? And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven, all right? So you having all these things and these pestilence and things like that popping off right now, man. Coronavirus is going global right now, man. Again, I don't understand why they don't call it a pandemic, which is like damn near everywhere. It ain't contained, it's not just in one little small area. All right, let me jump down to verse 25 and 26. Verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth the stress of nations. Now, you're seeing this happening right now, man. The stress of different nations. All these different nations are panicking, trying to figure out how can we stop the spread of the coronavirus? How can we contain this? How can we, you know what I'm saying, cure these people? How can we do all this? Or what are we going to do when we have to shut down all of our factories, our what we call public transportation and things like that, the public schools? How are we going to want to keep things afloat if none of us can go to work or we can't bring in any money? What if we can't trade? What if we can't do this? What if we can't do that, This is dealing with the distress of nations and perplexity and seizing the waves roaring, dealing with all the perplexities. When you're perplexed about things, it's just like, now how the hell am I supposed to do this and do that? You just kind of perplexed. You don't understand how you're going to get something done or let me try to give you a scenario of how you would be perplexed about something, like, or for instance, you see people at a magic show when they, watching a magic show and the magician is somewhat of a good magician or whatever, whatnot, and the people in the show is genuinely captivated by the scenario, they like perplexed, like how the hell did he saw this woman in half and you all looking around and this and that, you just perplexed, you kind of stuck, Jacob be like, he's stuck, he don't even understand what the hell, he just stuck, bro. This is what's going on with these different nations, man. They all are perplexed right now, man. They got all these different calamities going on. All right. They just stressed the fuck out, not knowing what's going on here and there, you know. Verse 26, men's hearts fell in them for the fear and for looking for those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right. Now you have a lot of these people that are doomsday prepping, that are prepping for this. Oh shit, this could pop off, that could pop off, so on and so forth. You know, their hearts fell in them for basically the Lord's judgment going forth. Man, they know that this is going forth, that it's some kind of capacity. And now what? They being fearful. When you look at a lot of these Edomites and these a lot of these Edomites are doomsday preppers. Man, they bugging the fuck out right now, man. All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, for when thou seest part of the signs which I've told thee, then thou shalt understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, so look, when we start to see these things, we know that what? That's why I said we should be rejoicing in these things. These are the times that we look for. All right, we're looking at the signs of the conditions of the earth when the Lord was going to be returning, and now we're in those conditions. So what? We're rejoicing because why? The Lord told us about these things, and our eyes are open to see these things. We're not bucking up against it. There's a good possibility that we slated for salvation. Verse 2, then thou shalt understand that this very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. All right, like we just read, earthquakes in diverse places and commotions and distress of nations and perplexity. You have all these uproars, uprisings around the world with all these different protests against their governments over economic woes. Verse 4, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. So the Lord is like the drama king, man. He gonna make a grand opening, grand closing, man. All right, he's not gonna just pop up on the scene. I mean, he gonna send Yahushua up as a thief in the night, but even that thief in the night, right now we blowing that trumpet, letting you know that thief is coming, letting you know the thief is coming. Only the elect, the men of the Lord, 144,000 and 1/3, they gonna hear this and they gonna, how do I say, be privy to the thief coming. Everybody else, they blinded to the gospel, so they ain't gonna know. They're gonna want to just dying off. Verse 7, everyone that should be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby you believed. All right. Where is it? Verse 9. Then shall they be in a pitiful case which not have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Dealing with what? The 2/3 of our people. For such as in their lives received benefits have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while had yet liberty, and was yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. And this is what 2/3 of our people are doing. They're out here despising this here truth that's coming out. They're despising the warning that the Lord is sending forth, that mercy that the Lord is sending forth, They're out here despising the prophets, and so on and so forth. But guess what? The Lord is like, all right, you ain't want to take heed to that. I'm about to go ahead and send forth this here sword and just devour your ass, man. I'm about to bring out that judgment that you so loudly crying out for, Let me read 11 and 12 again. And they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when yet the place of repentance was open unto them, understood it not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. All right. So look, this is how, this is how 2/3 of our people. This is how 2/3 of our people are going to want to find out that the men of the Lord was true the whole time. This is how the men of the Lord are going to. This is how 2/3 of our people are going to find out that the men of the Lord was right the whole time. This is how 2/3 of our people are going to find out that there is a power that reigneth in the heavens. This is how these heathen, these other nations are going to find out. All right, they're going to want to find out after death by pain, man. All right. Let me go from there to oh, you know what? I'm gonna close out. Let me grab this and then I'm gonna close out with what is it? Isaiah 65 and 12. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 12. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. All right. This is talking about 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Like we just read, like the same, you're going to have to learn at the death by pain. All right. Because when the place of repentance was yet open unto you, You loathe the law. You despise this here chastity. You despise all this, man. You didn't want to hearken unto the minute of the Lord. You didn't want to take heed to the warning the minute of the Lord gave you, all right, and told you to repent and come back to the law, statutes, commandments, come back to your power. You despise all those things. You just like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to hear all that. I want to be Muslim. I want to be a Christian. I want to be, a Christian as far as this holy Christianity or this modern day Christianity, This is what 2/3 of our people want to do, or be atheists, or just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Everything but answer the call of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And I always say, I use this here analogy of like, you know what? The Most High was calling you on your phone, but guess what you kept doing? You kept forwarding the phone call, forwarding it over the voicemail, So the Lord said, guess what? Isaiah 65:12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, you did not answer. And when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that which wherein I delighted not. So you didn't want to hearken unto the minute of the Lord when the Lord was calling you, man. All right. You didn't want to hearken unto the Lord when he was calling, so on and so forth. A lot of our people like to say, oh, the Lord know my heart. The Lord know me, or whatever, whatnot. The Lord would speak to me directly. The Lord told me this. The Lord told me that. Nah, fuck it. Why the Lord didn't tell you that your ass was finna goddamn catch the coronavirus and die, man? Why the Lord didn't tell you that this was that was gonna happen, huh? How come the Lord didn't tell you that you in the midst of judgment day? Why the Lord didn't tell you you was in the belly of the beast here in Babylon? Why the Lord didn't tell you you was an Israelite? Maybe because your Lord and your God is the wrong God, man. You need to stop worshiping Esau, the one that rocked you to sleep and kept you in his low place, man. All right, but what? The minute of the Lord on the highways and the byways trying to tell you this, but what? You didn't want to hearken unto that, man. All right, we piping into you and you ain't want to dance, man. We calling out into you, but you keep forwarding the phone call to the voicemail, man. So guess what? The same gonna have to learn after death by pain, man. All right. So we're gonna close out here in the book of 2 Peter. Man, there's a lot of good meat in this, but this, the majority of all this is really dealing with when the nukes is coming down ultimately. But I want to put in, to close out with this because I had made a statement earlier talking about this is the days that we look forward to. These are the days that we've been looking for, and ultimately, this is this is a sign of signs that we should be rejoicing at. All right, so it says I'm going to read verse 10 through 12, or 14, 13. All right, again, I understand that this is dealing with the thermonuclear missiles coming to destroy this here place. But ultimately, this is, touching in on the Lord bringing his judgment, and these here prophecies coming to pass, And these are just the beginnings. Like we can read in Matthew 24. These are all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, the end is not by and by yet. All right, this is just the beginning of it all. All right, but this is how it's going to ultimately end. All right, with the thermonuclear missiles. And just like with this coronavirus and all these things popping off right now, man, we looking forward to the day that them motherfucking missiles get launched off, man. You know what I'm saying? That to me, you know what I'm saying? If I live long enough to see all that and everything like that, Lord will not do. You know what I'm saying, bro? I cannot wait to see these missiles raining down. I want to walk outside, hear the sirens, and walk outside and look up and see these missiles raining the fuck down, man. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because I know and I have faith that, if the Lord decide to have mercy on me in a twinkling of an eye, man, in an instant, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Lord willing, I be beamed up and be changed, man, be delivered from out of this here situation, man. All right. But we can read that in Job 5, talking about somehow. Let me grab that real quick. 5:18. Five and 19. This is Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. All right. So basically, dealing with this here situation. All right, talking about the final judgments is going out. You can read about the 7 seals or whatever, whatnot, which is representation of the Lord's final plagues and judgment that's going forth on this here earth, man. All right, just like in Egypt, you had these different plagues from the frogs. I believe it was frogs, flies, the river turning red, and ultimately all the firstborns wound up dying. But basically the same thing is going to happen here. There's different plagues and pestilence and judgments that's going to go forth, but it's going to all culminate with what? The thermonuclear destruction. All right. So it says he will deliver thee in 6 troubles. All right. So, touching in on that, we're going to have to go through this here tribulation, which, it should be no question. You know, these fucking Christians, they should all be exposed by now, man. Pre-trib, rapture. Like, B, why the fuck is you still here right now, man? The Lord is damn near judged the whole fucking planet Earth to save Babylon right now. You know what I'm saying? The Eastern Hemisphere has already been, you know, they ain't been fully judged, but they done been getting the shit since 2001 over there, man. The judgment had made it over to the Western Hemisphere where, you know, what they call South and Central America is catching judgment heavy, all right? And then it's slowly but surely creeping up here to Babylon the Great, man. All right, so what? Basically, the whole world is up under judgment at this here point in time, and these Christians still think they're going to have a pre-trib rapture. They think they're going to be beamed up before these tribulations. No, man. That's why, well, we didn't read it, but I quoted it. Matthew 24, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, all right? But nevertheless, you know, when dealing with this, we're going to be in these trials and these tribulations. So it says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, all right? Like, for instance, the coronavirus, right? The Lord is going to deliver his servants throughout this here situation. But we gotta live. Fuck, we gotta live through it. We living through it right now. Like I said, on either side of me, whether I want to go north or whether I want to go south, motherfuckers with coronavirus is on either side of me, north and south. But guess what? The Lord is going to deliver us through these things, man. This is where we put our faith and our trust in. We ain't putting our faith and our trust in no goddamn little mask and no shit like that. That mask can't save you, cuz. It's only covering your mouth. What about your eyes, your ears? It's to say, your anus. You know what I'm saying? All these different orifices of your body, you can catch this shit, man. Sweat glands, and ultimately, and your whole body is a goddamn a sweat gland. Or you got sweat glands all over your whole body. So really, like, come on, bro. You can't stop this shit. The only thing that can stop this is the Most High. All right? Really, I mean, yeah, the Most High can stop it, but really, the only thing that can stop you from catching it is the Most High, because he's the one that's putting this on these people, man. He created this here disease, and he got everybody that he want to catch this to die off of it and be plagued by. He got them all numbered. He created this certain disease just for these certain people, and they all got their names on it. And this here, basically, you can call it a demon. This demon's gonna go out and seek out all their names that was written for this here situation. And all the other plagues and situations, you got, you know, famines and all these different things. You know, we was reading over in Isaiah 65. If you would have kept reading on down, all right, it says, well, I'll go back. It says, read this again, Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7, no evil shall touch thee. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war, from the power of the sword. All right, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of the destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So at this destruction, bro, we laughing at these motherfuckers catching their judgment, man, because we told you niggas, man. We told you niggas, but now we gonna wipe our hand. Well, our job is done with you niggas, man. And what we really waiting on is what? For them to start persecuting us, come down and shut us up off the damn YouTube, because we know we done finished the race at that point in time. All right, and then we just sit back with our popcorn and watch the Lord slay you niggas, man. All right, and but really, we right now watching the Lord slay you niggas now and laughing at the shit, man. All right, we laughing at the pestilence and all these things coming down onto you. All right, and some people might be like, oh, why y'all laughing? This is what is it, Psalms 1 and 4, I think it is. Or this is Psalms 2 and 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. Yahweh shall have them in derision. All right. You know, this is talking about, you know, going into these different nations jockeying for position, you know, and at the fall of Babylon, you know, for World War III, who gonna come into power next? You know, I'm gonna rule next, I'm gonna rule next. But when the Lord send back Yahweh to fight these nations off, he gonna be laughing at their ass, you know. But that wasn't the one I wanted to grab. But it's still the Lord gonna be laughing at you through at the minute of the Lord. You know, we're gonna be laughing when that time comes as well too. I believe it's in Proverbs chapter 1 and like 26. Yep. Ooh. Man. Proverbs 1 and 22. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity, and you scorners delight in scorning, and you fools hate knowledge? So we out here telling you what's going to pop off and what's happening, and you over here laughing and scoffing. Oh, you niggas in dresses. Oh, y'all believe that? Or whatever. What kind of God will kill all his people off? What kind of God? The same kind of God that's destroying you, your mama, and your grandmama, and all of them. You know what I'm saying? You don't see all these people dropping like flies. You don't see these curses falling on Esau. What kind of God would do it? A righteous God would do it. That's the kind of God. You know what I'm saying? The real and true and living God. The God of Israel. That's the kind of God that would do it. You know, that's the kind of power that would bring this judgment down. Right, true. What does it say in Deuteronomy 32 and like verse 4? Our rock is perfect, for all his ways are right, righteous, just and true. Let me grab it because I didn't fuck that all up. I'm gonna go on Deuteronomy 32, verse 4. All right, it says, "He is the rock, for his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a God of truth and without iniquity. Just and right is he." All right, and here's an example. They have corrupted themselves. All right, this is talking about the Israelites. We wound up going off, but hey, the Most High, he perfect. You know what I'm saying? He's God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. But the rest of the people, they all fucked up. So you say, what kind of God would do all this? What kind of fucking heathen wouldn't take heed to the creator of all things, man? He created all these things, and he's the author of all these things. Don't you think? Look, listen. I designed this here video game. I done created all the levels and this and that, and hid all the hidden packages in the game or whatever, whatnot. Why you don't want to listen to me when I tell you what all the look, bro? I designed the game. I created the cheat codes for the game. So how you gonna tell me I don't know what the fucking cheat codes are to the game? How you gonna tell me I don't know where this little hidden packages on the game, or how to beat this here level or beat this here boss? Motherfucker, I created the game. I created his difficulties, his weak spots, and so on and so forth. You over here trying to kill him with this, but really you need this shit to kill him with, I remember way back in the day, not going too far off, way back in the day, I used to play this game called Final Fantasy 7 and 8, right? One of them games, there was this one level, or this one boss you had to fight, and this boss that you had to fight was a dead person. Like, they was dead. It was more or less like a zombie already. So when you encountered them, they was already dead, right? And they had these little potions. I believe it was called like a Phoenix Dawn or a Phoenix Down or some shit like that. I think that was what it was called. But basically, or the elixir or some shit. But whatever it was going to regenerate your health, So if somebody damaged you, you would take this to revive yourself or replenish your health, right? But if you didn't know no better, if you didn't, back in those days, you used to have the little strategy books and whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Read the little, what they used to call them, the game guides or whatever, whatnot. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the grocery store with my grandma and go to the magazine aisle and look at the shit to find out how to beat the levels, right? So, you know what I'm saying? And I could never beat this one boss, this one level, whatever, whatnot. I'd be sitting there all day, you know what I'm saying? I even had my little cheat codes or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they had Game Sharks. And I had all the weapons, all my shit maxed out, maximum this, maximum that. I'm over here fucking this person up, you know what I'm saying? Or thinking I'm fucking him up, killing him, he just hitting him. Like, damn, they ain't dying. Over here for a whole hour just slaying this person, they ain't dying at all. But then I had to go reading the book, like, yeah, well, this here person is dead already. So in order to kill him, you got to give them this little elixir or whatever, whatnot, to revive their health, first and foremost. And you would think, like, why would I want to give them the potion to make their health go up? Well, because they already did. They somewhat in the negative already. So you got to bring them back to zero, for them to cross the line from zero, for their health to go up a little bit, just so you can kill them. All right? So if you didn't know that you had to give them the health the whole time, you just technically making their health go higher and higher and higher. They still full on health until you actually give them the potion to bring their health, you know what I'm saying? You bring them from the dead state to the alive state just so you could kill them. But you wouldn't know that unless you had the cheat code book. You could try to figure that shit out all damn day long. You're not going to figure it out. Same way with this situation, man. The Lord called and he told you, but what, you didn't want to hearken. You didn't want to listen, man. All right? So let me just go ahead and get these last couple. I'm going to close out. Proverbs 1 and 26. Well, we was up a little higher, but verse 22. Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in your scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you and make known my words unto you. And how did that happen? All right, through the Amos 3 and 7. The Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Ezekiel 3, Ezekiel 2, Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones, man. All right, we were supposed to go out and prophesy unto the children of Israel. All right, the valley of the dry bones. Verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. All right, the Most High say, turn back. All right, come back. Follow the law, statutes, commandments. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you and make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. We just read that in Isaiah 65 and 12. All right, the Most High called, you kept rejecting the phone call. It says, because I've called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But you have set at not all my counsel and would none of my reprove. All right, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. All right, and so how is the Most High going to laugh at you? You ain't going to hear him laughing from the heavens. No, he going to use his prophets to laugh at your dumb ass, man. That's why we be out here laughing when these people be catching their damn judgment, man. We be laughing like, see, told your ass. Fuck them. Yeah, they deserve that death. They deserve that judgment. That's the Lord's judgment going out. You shouldn't have been doing that stupid shit, man. Jake like to say this all the time. Like, Jake had this thing like, well, shit, bro, I can't be fucking around with the lion cage or the lion pit or whatever, whatnot, because if I fall in that motherfucker and get fucked up by the lions, whether I live or whether I die, if I live, it'd be worse off, because my mom and them gonna look at me like, what the fuck was you doing in the lions? Why was you playing around with the lions to begin with? I'm not finna have sympathy on you. You know what the fuck the lion gonna do to your ass. Why would you play in the lion cage, right? Same thing here, man. Most High's gonna laugh at your ass like, all right, I sent them out there and I told you, but guess what? You want to sit over here and laugh and scoff and put a gas mask on them and just joke at this thing, but it's me actually sending this here play. So when I was put this shit on you, when you over here laughing and scoffing at all these things, you gonna be my laughing stock now. You gonna be my joke now, you know? Verse 25 again, but you have said that not all my counsel would not none of my reprove. I will also laugh at your calamities and will mock when your fear cometh. And when your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and when distress and anguish cometh upon you. All right? Then they shall call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but not find me. For they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear Yahweh. They would none of my counsel, they would despise all of my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own ways and be filled with their own devices. For turning away from the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell in safety, and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. So, hey, man, we straight. Fuck the rest of these people, all right? I said I was going to close on this. Started reading it a little bit. 2 Peter 3 and 12. All right? I'm going to start at verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away. Now, again, I understand it's talking about the nukes, right? But ultimately, these plagues and these judgment coming forth, right? But the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works therein shall be burned up. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? All right, so going into all of that, you should have your mind set on returning to the Lord, pleasing the Lord in these times, not living it up here in Babylon, because this is not your rest. It's holy polluted. It's going to destroy you. So you should be fleeing out of the midst of Babylon spiritually and mentally, you know. All right. Verse 12 is the point I wanted to get at, you know, dealing with this here judgment. You know, what we're reading now is the end all be all judgment, you know, the thermonuclear missiles. But, you know, we in the beginning of all these sorrows. So, what type of spirit should you be in right now? Verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right. Nevertheless, we, according to this promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right. So, but the point I wanted to grab is says looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of the Most High, all right, the day of the Lord. All right. So, you know, we looking forward to these days, man. These are the days we look for. These are the days we pray for. These are the days that we've been seeking after, man. These are the days that we hope for. All right. We've been prophesying. We had faith in that the Lord was going to bring these things. You know, we were reading these things and believing on these things before they all started popping up, you know, but we had faith that these things was actually going to take place. And lo and behold, they are already starting to take place. And guess what? We're rejoicing at this, because we know, if not only, you know, we already to the point where we wholeheartedly believe, but, you know, hypothetically speaking, we can say it like this, you know, well, if 90% of the prophecies in the Bible already came to pass, what are the percentages you should bet your money on the rest of the prophecies coming to pass, you know? And if, you know, the things that, you know, fast forwarded, the things that we personally been prophesying about in these last few days, if they're starting to come to pass, how much more the prophecy of the Lord coming to actually deliver us and save us up out of this, and how much more that we might have a chance for actual salvation and us being in the middle of the Lord. See, we wholeheartedly believe in that, all right? That's why the scripture says, I'll show you my faith by my works, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and taught us his truth, and I rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can pushing his truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So next time I say, stay strong and shalom.